awesome. Great energy, competitive. Got a lot of the young kids, a lot of reps. So everything we want to get out of today, we got out of it. So it was a good day.
DJ Bailey, you had mentioned, is somebody you wanted to take a look at. Where does he stand health-wise?
He's got a knee problem that we're evaluating, and not sure to what extent it is. It definitely has some meniscus tear. But, trying to get some more tests to see, if the graft on his knee surgery that he had before he got here, to make sure that graft's still stable. So
it's the same knee?
Same knee.
All the guys banged up, like Bo, pretty frisky, doing pretty good?
Yeah, Bo could go. We're just trying our best to get him as healthy as possible. We have 7 full practices after we get back from Christmas, and we're going to try to hold him until those 7. It's just trying to make sure he has as much pop in his arm as he can for the bowl game.
Will he have to have surgery on that shoulder?
Don't know yet. We did a bunch of tests last week. It's marginal, it's borderline, and they've seen some heal just fine without it. So after the bowl game, we'll do some more tests and see if that gap is closed up any.
What about Furbia? How did he look to you?
Furby's he's going to play. I mean, he's not going to be 100%, but he's going to play, and glad we have him, man, because not just because of our need, but he's such a great kid. You wanted to send him out, man. Yeah, I want Furby to enjoy the bowl game. He's a great kid, everything you want in a player.
Any of those young ones that you worked extra stand out to?
Yeah, Tomorrow Strong is physical and gets after it. And I thought Carlos Thompson had a decent day. I thought Corey Gaines at center showed some signs of some good stuff. And Robert Conyers is going to be all right.
Backs?
Both the backs. I don't know if you were here for the first, that red ball drill. Both backs were explosive. I think we got 2 good ones there. Mikhail did some good things. I'm sorry.
In Tamario's case, does he maybe even have another position coming in the spring, or just keep working?
Well, you saw today we moved him to linebacker, and we started that last week. Now he doesn't know everything there is to know right now, but he is physical.
So you think that's the best place for him long term?
Well, we think he's a Mike linebacker.
Okay.
If he can pick up everything, I think that's where he fits in this league, particularly against the teams that are going to run the power stuff. You got a 240-pound physical guy there that will strike you down.
Is there any other position shifts you guys have thought about experimenting with?
Cody Core is a possibility to go to safety, depending on who all we sign. That won't be determined until spring, but I know he can play either receiver or safety. But we haven't moved him yet, so I think tomorrow's the only one that we really moved. Depending on how many ends we sign, we may look at Carlos Thompson at tight end. We've got a lot of things we think about, but nothing's ready to be reported yet that may happen.
How much did y'all do, Hugh, between the state game and now? This is the first time
weights and conditioning and scaling and endo. That's it. This is the first time we got lined up against each other since
How big has this year been for Carlos to sit out and kind of get bigger?
Look at his body, man. It's really been beneficial. He's spending 3 and 4 days with Paul instead of 2. I think it's been beneficial to him maturity-wise, not only physically but socially and academically also. He's done well.
Speaking of academics, did y'all come out of the semester well?
Yeah, the only kid right now that we have that is not ready to play in the bowl game is Jamal. That deal is not completely over yet. He's doing some extra work, but whether or not it will get cleared up, I can't say today. But with all the academic issues that we inherited when we got here, you're never going to be totally out of the woods. Even though we did well to this point, I mean, they still have that same GPA, that you have to continue to work with. But fortunately, we had a really good semester. Our team GPA was 2.8, which we're real pleased with that.
What about Pittsburgh? How much do you know? 2 weeks ago when we asked you, didn't know a lot?
Still don't know a lot. I mean, I've watched their defense some. I know that their quarterback has thrown for over 3,000 yards. They have a 1,000-yard rusher and almost a 1,000-yard receiver. Got a guy that leads the league in their league in tackles for loss. So, I mean, they got some players, and they took Notre Dame to 3 overtimes. That tells you, you're playing a physical team. What I saw on film, they remind me of they're try-hard guys that are well-coached and give great effort. Anytime you have those ingredients, combine that with some good players, and they're going to be a tough opponent.
Charles Sawyer's health.
Yeah, he's probably 80-90%. this break over Christmas when we give him off Thursday should help people like Charles, because I mean he's going to play. It's just now you get more healthy as the time goes.
It's going to be a good experience for these younger guys, just staying here when classes are over and going more practices.
No question, because I tell you, that is, I've been more concerned over the last week and will continue to be, because there's so much free time and you're never quite sure how kids are going to handle that. We've been fortunate to this point that, I think they've maintained a good standard of living, hopefully, and decision making. Obviously, that could change any time in this world we live in, and I hope and pray it doesn't, but I know that it could. But certainly for these young kids that have never experienced it before, this will be a good reflection in hopefully coming years when we're doing this more frequently.
Pierce Burton looked like he was in a little bit of pain there when he went down. I think he was
I
up
didn't
walking
talk to
around.
Pat. Yeah, Pierce is tough. I mean, that line's old linemen are going to have to play with pain, and as long as there's nothing real bad wrong, they got to go. And Pierce is tough. He's played all year with pain.